Being so bad it's good is a difficult thing to pull off, as you're skirting a fine line of being charming or just bad. Deadly Premonition 1 pulled this off really well. 2 on the other hand feels straight up bad due to its technical problems, and no amount of charm can make me ignore them. So the game acts as both a sequel and a prequel to the first game, with York reliving a past case whilst being questioned by the FBI in the present day. It's a genuinely good story, intriguing, funny, and has great characters, with York himself being a standout. He's just such a tit. He says inappropriate things, talks to his imaginary friend Zach when he's right in front of people, and he's just so socially inept it comes right back around to being endearing. He does do some racist accents in the game, but it does feel within his character, I reckon, but it will rub some people the wrong way. There's also a trans character, and I'm not going near that minefield. It is here in its writing and story that it pulls off its quirky so bad it's good goal, but everywhere else this game fails. The open world, let's start there. You have to traverse it on skateboard because York's car got nicked, and yes, it does control like arse, and the frame rate out in the open world is absolutely atrocious. No way should this game have been released in this state. It makes skating through the world a nauseating task, and anything you need to do in the open world, which is a lot, feels unplayable because it runs like a slideshow. Time passes in this game, so certain activities can only be done at certain times, and it's easy enough to skip time by sleeping or smoking. From midnight to 6 AM, monsters spawn in the town, well, one type. This makes the frame rate even worse, so combating them is awful, and they do not stop spawning. Most of the side quests take place in the open world. They never really provide any detailed instructions as to what to do, and when you do complete them, it's hard to turn in because NPCs have their own schedules. And even if you do find them out and about, you might not be able to turn it in because they have to be in a certain location to do so. Also, they're just generally shit. Things like kill 30 squirrels, funny once but immediately boring after that. The world itself is also bland, with nothing of real interest in it. Some of the interiors look nice, like the diner, but due to shitey graphics, they don't really realise their full potential. You do have to look after York, making sure he's fed and slept, as well as shaving him and keeping his clothes clean, else your health and stamina are affected. I do like these kinds of systems since it adds a little bit of immersion for me, but I imagine some people will find it a faff. The combat is as simple as it can get. One upgradable pistol, that's all, and every enemy I've encountered dies in one hit, and they go SNAAAARRFF every time they die, so that got grating after a second. The game's pace is also pretty shoddy. You have to faff about so much in story missions, things like having to wait for specific times, going on stupid, pointless, quirky random errands for characters. No, it's not hilarious, it's boring. As you go through the game, you get materials to use to craft upgrades for York's stats, and this system works well, but I found that York is totally powerful enough without any, since the game is piss easy. I mean, I beat this boss by shooting it 5 times, seems like it's kind of a useless system really. What also seems useless is the investigation sequences. You're not figuring anything out for yourself, you just highlight objects and press A, then York says if it's bollocks or not. Might as well have just been all a cutscene. You do get a detective vision that helps you look for clues, but it is totally useless since these sections are so simple. Technically, the game is an absolute mess. I mentioned the frame rate, but I really can't stress how bad it is. The graphics are murky with loads of jagged edges on objects and characters. The pop-in in the open world is horrendous, and I got some lovely bugs, like my HUD disappearing with no ability to open the map or menu, so I was fucked. The music is nowhere near as good as the first either. The good tracks in this are ones they've just reused. Deadly Premonition 2 should never have been shat out in the state it is in. There is no excuse for it. They are charging full price for this, and there are much better optimised open world games on the Switch. They say they are going to improve the frame rate, but I'm calling bollocks. They never fixed the PS3 or PC version of Deadly Premonition, so why should I trust? Don't buy Deadly Prem 2, it's absolute guff. Wait until they fix the technical issues, if ever, then you might get some enjoyment out of it, and it will be cheaper. It's definitely the most disappointing game I've played this year. I've only played the first 2 chapters because the technical issues got to me that much, and I refuse to play anymore till it's sorted. You might say it invalidates my opinion, but if a game is so bad I don't want to play anymore, it speaks volumes, I think.
It is right here,